Hey everybody, Adam Savage in the cave with Norm Chan.
It's time for another unboxing.
It is time to go to a place where no man has gone before.
Oh, they've seen the title, they've seen the thumbnail.
That's right, they know what we're getting.
This has been a long time coming, not just for us, but for all the fans out there waiting for the one company's TOS Tricorders.
And a shout out to the one company. I often talk about my prop replication process as one in which I'm looking for not just a visual fidelity to the original, which is always a goal, but I also wanted to feel like the original. And the one company are spectacular makers of not only props that are functional in other ways than their original functionality, but that feel like they should. They have a weight to them.
And feel like not just original prop should, but in that universe. And they've added even functionality and details. I mean, if you watched the video when Chris Bernardo of the One Company was here a year ago and showed you their first production prototypes, you know, they're clearly very passionate about this thing.
Oh, and let's talk about this passion, man. This is beautiful. USS Enterprise standard issue tricorder with black spot varnish and gray across this slightly less than black cardboard.
There's a continuity here because before the tricorder, they put out the communicator. Of course. This is the One Company communicator, very hard to find these days. There's also a phaser.
Phaser, my favorite phaser.
Even harder to find.
Is it really?
I don't have one.
God, I bought one when they first came out, and I was like, when it arrived, I was like, how is this possible? This is better than anything I've ever held before that said it was a Star Trek prop.
And all three of those have the same black box with the shiny black and also that blue dot.
Oh, they do. Ah, so they do three color, spot varnish plus the gray plus the blue. All right.
This has been a project I've been following their blog posts. Chris has written up, 24 blog posts over the past 4 years about the journey in research, modeling, figuring out all the functionality and electronics of this. And so this is
amazing. This is really, really beautiful.
And he was a graphic designer.
Man, my biggest issue so much of the time is with UX. And every time you pull out instructions and I have to turn over and the progression is weird, this is all on one page.
Love the fold out, the big graphic on the back. What you're getting.
They are proud of their work, as they should be. All right, here we go.
Okay,
so we've got a, there's a stand.
Yep, magnetic stand.
Oh, and then there's the discs. Oh,
we'll get to the
dude.
disc.
Okay, so
beautiful.
Here comes the discs.
Okay.
And then there's also,
that's the strap.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's all the things that are in the box. Also, printing on their cutout foam. That's a nice little bit of refinement there.
Nice solid base. The last thing that we got in from them was the Fallout Pip-Boy. So there's definitely, again, that continuity, attention to detail, a beautiful display base.
And the weight, being able to work with die-cast metals and plastic in combination to create the weight. Okay, this is real leather.
PU leather.
PU leather. What is PU leather?
Not fake leather.
It is fake leather?
Yeah.
It smells like leather. They must be spraying it with a leather cologne.
They have technology.
All right. It's a really nice looking case. And so we pull this out. Oh, it feels great. It feels lovely. Shall we flip it up?
Oh, yes, we should.
Oh, and there's I pull something off of there. Hang on.
There you go. You can do that with, you don't need the X-Acto for that. I would feel very nervous about doing that. But well done. No scratches on that beautiful curved piece of plastic.
It is really lovely. And the grating here, the metal grating. So this is where the discs go.
Yes. Well, wait a second. Let's
look at all the compartments. Oh, right. And then,
yes. One box in
here there's a box in there.
And I believe this is just USB for powering.
Oh, right, okay.
As well as dividers. You can take these pieces out.
All right.
While you do that, I'll let folks know. Here's one of the things I love is they have to put their details, all the regulatory information. They hide it on the bottom.
So that it's not part of your prop experience. It's not like you see it back there.
Like everything aside from the USB-C plug, which they didn't have back in 1966.
Fair.
This is basically
you could just bring it onto a set.
Yeah. Yeah. And we since Chris came here and showed you the production prototype, we were down in LA at Propster where you saw not only Wah Chang's original drawing that they auctioned off, but one of the tricorders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it never looked as nice or new.
No,
as
it's
this.
funny. That is really hilarious. Is that the real props are crunchy in a really abiding way across all of them, in a way that's almost impossible to replicate. But this is, they are a wonderful vision of the future of their time, and this just feels exactly like that.
Who can imagine a screen larger than that? Right, you got to put some tubes in there.
So wait, so did these guys go in
the
here?
dividers in here. This prop does not have the medical scanner. That's not a product yet. So, the designs and the kind of schematics and layout of the medical scanner is pretty widely available. Fans have made their own replicas. So, Adam, maybe in the future you want to turn a scanner.
I would totally make a scanner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's the way those wedge in. There's basically enough room
Yeah.
to holster a scanner if we were so inclined.
All right.
They got the dimensional reference by laser scanning Greg Gian's original tricorder that he owned from the original series.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's a photo of back when Greg was still alive, when they met up in nondescript room with a hand scanner to actually get all of that done.
All right, I'm going to pull the battery tab.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, battery tab is pulled, and I'm assuming on is something just like that.
Let's hold the middle button down.
All right.
And it will
Beautiful jewels.
Let's take a moment to activate a second camera so
Absolutely.
that we can get a close-up for viewers out there.
Whoa. All right. Oh, it's really pretty. So this is prop mode, right?
Yes.
So that just spins. We get our moire, and we get our blue lights, and this is how they actually interface with the prop on set.
Oh, well, the prop on set, in the 23rd century.
Fair, yes.
So these three are buttons.
Navigation.
So, yep, and the center one is a jog dial. We can back out of prop mode. There it goes. So prop mode again. It's kind of like a gray screen for most of the series. It was just that gray screen. But here,
look at that beautiful. They're just using the typeface for L cars. Do you think that Mike and Denise Okuda are like thrilled at seeing their L cars actually being animated in props these days?
Yeah, absolutely. And moving to season 3 of Picard.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the UI designers can actually make them interactive.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it's all got shared DNA. So moire, interesting to talk about because it's a different moire pattern than.
They were really interested in the moire as a sort of futuristic display.
The blog post I read about the moire, it turns out there's an Edmund Scientific catalog that had like a moire pattern, and Star Trek fans have figured out which two circles to cut out of that pattern that then you overlay to get the difference between the tricorder moire or the communicator moire, because they're distinct, and moire patterns that's.
Yeah, they do different things at different timings.
Yeah.
This seems to be much finer in terms of the line width than the tricorder.
This one has almost like the gravitational pull, right? It looks like a gravity field, right, with those two circles. Wow. Yeah.
That is really neat.
That's really beautiful. The original prop never had these openings. They were never discs, right?
So it was just like a monolithic aluminum thing.
Something turned with some lines, but I think the inspiration is with that original sketch that Wah Chang did. Like, you can surmise and imagine
that these would be like expansion modules that increased the functionality, and they've thought through this and they've labeled them audio, radiation, atmosphere, orientation, status, planetary, logs, and archive.
Let's go pick one.
Okay, I want to do archive.
Yeah. So if you put in any normal slot, and push it in, right? There's a nice action. Right?
Oh, yeah, it's got a nice little spring to it. There's a little.
There you go.
Oh, and then you hit it again and it comes back out.
That's nice.
And it's individually works for each one. Plus, I only just noticed that they have letters on them.
They do, and only a certain amount of etching, so it doesn't spell the entire word for some of, for orientation, for archive.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so does it know which discs are in?
It will know which disc is in the far right.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, so we'll put planetary over there, and I'll put it in the far right. And so now, dude, it says planet.
Yep. let's activate that and maybe,
Oh, yeah. So
oh, yeah. I think
There we
we'll
go.
brace the back of this. This hinge also, right? Like,
it doesn't have a stop.
doesn't
so
have a stop.
You
It
got to
can go
kind of
all
hit
the
it with. You got to
way.
sort of like.
Exactly.
Doot, doot.
Yeah. So you want to kind of hold it back.
Okay. Oh wow. So you can walk through all of these planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth.
And I think it's just an
Oh,
graphic with some
information
data.
about each one.
Yeah. So you can navigate. Right. I'm not sure why some are green or some are red. Maybe they're moons. But okay. All right.
There's Saturn. Okay. So then I pulled this back out.
Yep. And let's put a different disc in. Oh yeah,
Let's
there's
put a
slot in there.
different disc in, and we'll try. What is this one? I like the orange. Orientation. Here we go. So it goes right back to.
Well, this one now is a compass, or we're in like the app mode, right?
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
launched the
yeah.
app,
Oh, that's really
the
cool.
orientation app, and they've put sensors in this thing.
Did they really?
Yeah.
You mean so that it actually?
That's a real magnometer,
No way!
and you have to calibrate it. So you do the drone dance where you gotta spin it around a couple different times.
They didn't have to do that.
They didn't have to do that.
That is
Yeah.
really, really neat. Does this also, some of the other Wand Company offerings have been useful television remotes?
Yeah, no Bluetooth, no radio in here.
Okay.
I think getting a transmitter in here with the tightly packed electronics was a more difficult thing to do. Atmospheric readings, what do you got here?
Temperature, 27 Celsius. That sounds accurate. Humidity, 58%. That actually sounds accurate. Barometric pressure, I don't know if that's accurate.
It is all supposed to be accurate.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Then it's actually getting these
And
readings.
I think the elevation, the pressure is the one that's the most accurate.
Unbelievable.
The temperature, I think, depends on where that sensor is.
I'm going to do another one. How does it know which of these is in?
It's reading the color.
No way. It's just got a little.
Behind the moire motor is a sensor that reads like the outer diameter, and that's why the colors are very specific.
I love this. It's reading the radiation.
Oh yeah. Let's get a device. I think the EM sensor is on the bottom, so
Yeah.
let me see if my phone will activate it. Let's see. Maybe I need something that moves a little more current through. If we had like a power cable or something, and we put it under here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. How about your charger?
Yep. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Ooh.
What? It actually has sensoring. That's just insane.
That's the power supply, right? Well, it's kind of like the HasLab.
Yeah.
The PKE. They put an EM sensor in there.
It's such a good time to be a geek.
Miniaturization. Yeah.
It's real. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop that noise. There we go. Everyone's.
Without going through, because let's put all the discs in.
Oh yeah.
That
Here we go.
Let's put it in this slot right
comes
here.
Status.
And I think the way I would have it displayed is I would have all the text behind.
And not see it.
And not see it as if it was that original single
Yeah.
prop.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it is absolutely gorgeous. And again, with the discs in it,
Yeah.
it feels real. Feels like a real bit of kit.
Want me to show you a couple other things? I can blow your mind?
Please show me some of the other.
I've read the manual. So we're gonna go to settings,
Yeah.
and so you can see all the standard settings for brightness, right? Your kind of behind the scenes stuff. If we go to override, this is how we can access.
What the other
different-
discs do.
without actually having to swap.
So you just have the ability to activate them even if you don't have the disc.
Exactly. So we did. I don't think we did status here. Here's archive.
Okay.
So they've put in like some graphics, right? From the show.
Oh, nice.
Right, great. I'm gonna go back and some other graphics. I think here's some nice. Oh, I think I clicked. Sorry, 1 second. Let's go archive. And here, for example, like some
that's super
oscilloscope
cool.
animations.
Oh, neat.
That's neat. Classic. Here goes another one.
That's
Love
amazing.
it. Now this is from the classic.
Oh my
Sit on
God.
Edge of Forever.
Yes.
Edith Keeler. I think Chris recreated the newspaper clipping from an old scan. An Earl Hayes Press newspaper, of course.
Exactly.
So back that out.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that's much higher res
Yeah.
than the original newspaper, and of course cleaned up. And then we're gonna back out and go into our override again, and we're gonna select audio. Oh, logs.
Logs are awesome.
Logs. We talked about this last year, but what they were able to do is they got all 203 Captain Kirk Captain's logs.
And they're just built in here?
Built in here.
No way.
Yeah. So from which episode?
Captain's log, stardate 3211.8.
Yeah.
While beaming down from the Enterprise to a...
Dude.
Yep, every single one. And look, what personal log.
You can put your own in?
You can put your own. There's a microphone, of course.
Of course there is.
So you can do 8 personal logs, I think up to 30 seconds each. Right, yeah. It's made for play, made for display, made for
Bless
play.
them. Oh my God. I'm so happy about this.
Something I noticed,
Yeah.
though, if you go into settings, you go to let's say the engine. This is the one tab that doesn't have a disk associated.
Engineering.
Engineering.
Okay.
And engineering is actually the kind of their debug menu.
Yeah.
So here you can see all the readings from the EM field, the microphone.
Oh. I see. Oh, right. So it's basically just giving me all of its input feeds.
All input feeds, voltage for battery, right? All the readings for the magnets, humidity, pressure.
I want all of my electronics to have this.
The one thing there, look, there's a spot. What does that say?
Open.
SD card.
What?
Yeah. So they have future-proofed it in a way. And I reached out and asked Chris, and people have asked in the forums. They noticed that when he shared some of the designs of the circuit board, that there was a spot for a micro SD card.
Yeah.
We know the Fallout Pip-Boy prop had the SD card built in.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have an SD card yet, and what they say is that it's future-proofing for functionality they may develop eventually. I would love at some point, because there's one Star Trek fan on the RPF, Brian Mix, who I interviewed at an RPF party years ago. He made like his own version of this with a Raspberry Pi, with
This
a
is
screen.
amazing.
And his idea was he put every single episode of the original series in his tricorder to play.
Totally.
That's what I would want. Like, I've purchased the DVDs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want to be able to put them on a tiny SD card, resize them somehow, put them through an encoder so they're at the right resolution. But if I could pull up,
I love that.
that would be my dream implementation.
I am definitely going to execute the medical, the tricorder, the scanner here. I'm totally going to do that. I'll make 2 sets of parts. I'll make a set of parts for you. Because it's got to be real aluminum, right?
Yes. Yep.
Seeing our voices on this microphone readout is in and of itself just kind of thrilling.
The fact has all those sensors in there. I mean, there's other stuff we haven't shown yet. They'll do like a random ship diagram with like the status of the ship, of the Enterprise, of course. And every once in a while, if you'll have a bad status, they'll have a bad status and they'll require some repair. As if you just want to check in on the Enterprise.
It feels like with each new thing they're doing, they're not just thinking through the fan experience, but they're thinking through like, how would this participate in a full-blown LARP? Right? Like that's exactly what I thought the Pip-Boy was bringing, where you could adjust the radiation level to fit whatever narrative you wanted. This is adults and their narratives, man.
Yeah,
I'm totally excited.
And under the frame of their license, right? The communicator works as a Bluetooth.
Right.
You can like receive phone calls, or I guess use it to play music if you really
forgot all about that.
Yeah, so you can use this not only to play back, and you memorize all the different sound clips.
Yeah.
You can use it, and then the phaser works as a
television
remote. Exactly. Yeah. You aim it at the TV.
Yeah.
This one has all the sensors, right? All different modes.
I love that it's got actual sensors in it. That it's almost a real tricorder. What a beautiful execution.
Adam, I'm realizing this was the perfect video to bring out that tricorder.
Do you want to bring it out? The OG?
Let's
Wait right there. I'll bring it right out. I totally forgot about it entirely.
Yes, let's do it.
I'll be right there.
We'll be right back. I'm going to cut the recording on this.
All right. This is from a recent con. A guy came up to my table. His name is Moro, and he is Agliacept at the RPF. And he said, I know you're a Trek fan, and I have 2 of these, so I thought you should have one.
I never thought I would see one of these in my entire life.
100% me too.
Little context, back in the late 90s, it's around like the 30th anniversary of Star Trek. That was one of the first big ones where they did all the TV specials and the magazines of like Star Trek Experience in Las Vegas was just spinning up. Star Trek was peaks. It was the cover of Time magazine, right?
Everywhere.
Video games, props, toys, playmates, everything, right? Someone got the license to make a TNG-inspired design of a tricorder that they called the Mark I.
And this is like, it's got almost exact same graphics as on the front of an actual next-gen tricorder. This is missing battery wire. So I'm not able to power this up just yet until I take it apart and rewire a battery into it.
It has the EMG, the emergency button. But this, when you say like the design aesthetic of that TNG production design team, they put that into, back in the 90s, we're talking about almost 30 years ago now.
And this was a real tricorder,
Yes.
real tricorder. Yeah. It took measurements on a host of different spectra. There's probably barometric pressure, temperature, obviously, electromagnetic spectrum.
Colorimeter.
Colorimeter.
Yeah.
Stardate clock and timer, uplinks and downlinks to shipboard core computer.
Humidity, And I distinctly remember, because this was like in the 30th anniversary like special magazine, that they had the instruction. They still have it. They had them on CD.
A CD-ROM? I'm not sure I have anything that can play that.
I remember like the Enterprise D saucer section was on the CD, and that was just like a big sense memory for me.
Man.
Yeah.
So you dreamed about having this.
I dreamed, of course. This is one of those things you read in the magazine, like, whoa, this is so cool. They're making a real tricorder.
In the time since this was released, it has come up in my feed, in my brain pan a couple of times, only for me to think, I'm never going to find one of those.
No.
But as a Trek completist, this is a completely amazing thing.
No, I bought the Franklin Mint 4D chess set, on eBay years after when I had the money to buy it. Right? Like we all saw those things in the catalogs.
Yeah, adulthood is going back through the catalogs you oogled as a child and fulfilling your dreams.
But look at this. This is what the fan community, what scientists thought a tricorder could be in the 90s and what they were able to get in. And here is
most of the same functionality as in here.
Right.
In a film prop.
In the film prop
that is
form factor
delightful.
With a screen, right? This is like an old LCD, burn-in LCD screen.
Totally.
Right? And you have a full color TFT screen here. There's something weird. Like
it's a marvelous bringing together.
Yeah.
Well, I came back with this about 6 months ago. We've had it just sitting there, and you and I knew we wanted to do a video about it. It's hilarious that it took us halfway through this one before we realized.
That blows my mind.
That is really
so
cool.
happy with this. This just serial port.
Right?
To USB-C.
I think I can convert between those somewhere in my collection.
This tricorder from One Company has been such a long time coming. They are letting us know and letting you out there know that because of the global shipping situation, all the stock
issues
is now in the UK.
And
they're distributing over Amazon.co.uk. But there's for people who signed up and registered for the pre-order link.
Yeah.
It won't be a pre-order as much as they'll email those folks a link to buy immediately.
Gotcha.
And it'll be shipped out in batches. It's in full production right now.
Amazing.
So
despite all the issues, they're working hard to get them into the fans' hands.
Yes. And the best place to be able to find where you can get this is to still sign up at the One Company's website. We'll have links, of course, in the description.
Yep.
And they'll be emailing folks as soon as they can get these on in the warehouse.
One Company, my hat is off to you. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful piece.
And you know what? I hope this is well, because that's the only way they'll
make more.
They'll make more
yes.
of the phaser, right? Like to reissue the phaser.
Yep.
Enough people need to buy the tricorder. $350, so reasonable.
It is that's crazy for what this is. Yeah. That's really an impressively cheap price. All right. Incredible. We're all just beaming and basking in how awesome this is. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And while usually I use this space to tell you about new merch, I'd like to tell you about some classic merch. Specifically, my favorite thing we have ever produced, which is the Adam Savage Shop apron. I love it when people bring these to me to sign at my cons. But if you can't get to one of our cons, that's fine. You don't have to wait because we are selling both signed and unsigned versions of these aprons at adamsavage.com. Get yours today and start wearing it in.